Welcome back to Kdramas Decoded, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of your favorite K-drama. Episode 6 of My Bias, My Boss gets seriously complicated as Daryum finds herself caught between two men, while Chan begins to realize that the woman he has been looking for might actually be much closer than he thought. The episode picks up with Daryum and Lee Chan still caught in an awkward situation. When someone suggests that Chan might be interested in her, he immediately denies it, saying that he already has another woman he is interested in. Daryum is surprised by this and starts wondering who that mystery woman could possibly be. What she doesn't realize is that the person Chan is talking about is actually her. Meanwhile, Daryum continues working on the traditional knot project with the master artisan. After initially misunderstanding the importance of traditional knot making, the team begins to understand that these knots aren't something that can simply be mass-produced. They are an art form that requires patience, skill, and personal involvement. This gives Daryum an idea. Instead of turning the traditional knots into an ordinary commercial product, the company could create a DIY traditional knot kit that allows customers to actually learn how to make them themselves. The artisan agrees to consider the idea, but only on one condition. People can't simply receive instructions and make the knots mechanically. They have to experience the process and understand the meaning behind it. Thanks to Daryum's contribution, the project is eventually selected for the company's fashion division, and she is given responsibility for the upcoming pop-up event. It's a huge opportunity for her, especially because she is still relatively new to the company. At the same time, Chan's relationship with Daryum starts becoming much more personal. Chan takes her somewhere meaningful and shows her a photo book that she had created years ago as a fan. After his group disbanded, Chan had gone through an extremely difficult period, and that photo book had helped him get through it. He even traveled to the places featured inside it because he believed that somewhere out there was a person who was still supporting him. That person was Daryum. The two finally realized that they had been giving each other strength from a distance for years without knowing it. Chan then makes his feelings clear and tells Daryum that he wants to properly date her and get to know her as a woman rather than simply as a fan. Daryum is completely overwhelmed. She spent 12 years admiring Chan as a celebrity, so the idea of actually dating him is terrifying. Her friend encourages her to give him a chance, reminding her that she deserves to experience being loved as Nam Daryum, rather than always being the anonymous fan behind the support. But while Daryum is trying to figure out her feelings for Chan, the company CEO is quietly struggling with feelings of his own. He knows Daryum likes him, but he believes they cannot be together because of their positions. He keeps telling himself that he needs to maintain his distance, even though it's becoming increasingly obvious that he cares about her. Then Daryum and Chan's relationship begins to look more serious. The CEO notices that Daryum has been spending time with Chan and becomes visibly jealous. He even starts questioning whether she has been going on dates with him. Despite insisting that he isn't interested in her romantically, his actions say something completely different. The situation becomes even more complicated when Daryum and Chan go on what looks like a proper date. They watch a scary movie together, talk about his life as a celebrity, and spend time getting to know each other. But their peaceful date doesn't last long because Chan's identity attracts attention. Fans recognize him, forcing Daryum to leave with him before the situation gets worse. Chan feels terrible for putting her through it, but Daryum reassures him that she understands. She knows what it's like to be a fan, after all. At the same time, Daryum finds two abandoned kittens and immediately becomes attached to them. The CEO helps her take them to the vet and eventually agrees to look after one of them while she handles her other commitments. This gives the two of them another excuse to spend time together. When Daryum later returns to check on the kittens, the CEO admits that he has already become attached to them. The two even give the kittens names, K-Kung and J-Jack, after noticing how well they work together. Their conversation then unexpectedly turns romantic. Daryum talks about how she admires couples who can openly express their feelings and admits that she sometimes wishes she could be more honest about her own emotions. The CEO quietly tells himself that he wishes he could accept her feelings, but being her boss makes everything too complicated. He's clearly falling for her, but he's fighting it every step of the way. Meanwhile, Chan continues trying to make plans with Darium. He invites her to dinner, and she agrees. The CEO notices how happy Darium looks and asks whether things are going well with Chan. But instead of admitting that he's jealous, he tells himself to focus on work and stop worrying about her private life. Then comes one of the most heartbreaking moments of the episode. Darium goes on another blind date because she's still trying to move on and figure out what she wants. Unfortunately, the man leaves early, making her feel humiliated and rejected. The CEO finds her afterwards and immediately sees through her usual "I'm fine" response. He tells her that she doesn't have to pretend everything is okay around him. When Darium finally admits that she actually was hurt, he comforts her and tells her that she deserves better than a man who would leave her alone during a date. The irony is that he's unknowingly describing exactly the kind of man he is becoming jealous of. Instead of going straight home, the two walk together through the cold night. Darium admits that she actually feels better being with him than she did during the blind date. Then the first snow begins to fall. The moment is quiet and almost romantic, and the CEO finds himself wanting to stay with her longer. He asks whether they could meet separately sometime, away from work. Darium is stunned. She's already confused about Chan, but now her boss is making it increasingly difficult for her to ignore the feelings between them. And then the episode throws in another complication. Chan receives an unexpected opportunity to meet a famous director about his next project. It's exactly the kind of opportunity his manager has been waiting for, but Chan is currently with Darium and doesn't want to abandon their plans. Eventually, he has no choice but to leave. Darium tells him that she understands and encourages him to go because she knows how important his career is. But once again, she ends up being the person who puts someone else's needs before her own. Later, the CEO finds her alone and discovers that her friends never showed up for her birthday celebration. He immediately notices that she's trying to pretend she isn't disappointed. Instead of letting her brush it off, he tells her that she can be honest with him. She finally admits that she was hurt, and for once, she allows herself to be vulnerable in front of him. The CEO's feelings become impossible to deny. He knows Darium is interested in someone else, but he doesn't want her to give up on love just because things haven't worked out so far. At the same time, he's struggling to control his own jealousy. By the end of the episode, the romantic tension has reached another level. Darium is still trying to understand what she feels for Chan, the celebrity she has loved for 12 years, while her supposedly distant and professional boss is becoming the person she feels safest around. And just when it seems like things couldn't get any more complicated, Darium receives a new invitation. The CEO asks her to meet him separately, while Chan is also making plans with her. Then the final scene drops the biggest bombshell. Darium is confronted about the identity of the man she has been meeting. Someone asks whether it is actually Cha Yunwoo, or, more accurately in the drama's world, whether the person she's been seeing is really Lee Chan. And suddenly, her secret connection to the celebrity she has adored for 12 years is no longer something she can easily hide. Episode 6 ends with Darium caught between the celebrity she spent 12 years loving and the boss who is slowly falling for her, with both men becoming increasingly serious about her. And honestly, the love triangle is officially getting dangerous now.